Hello everyone, welcome to Reactify Labs. In this video, we will talk about webhooks. Okay, so the question is, why do we need webhooks? Like, what is something that it's doing that was not possible without webhooks? Okay, let's try to understand it with a real life example. Let's say you run a gym. Okay, then what happens is, let's say everything here is online, or what you can do is you have given this gym to a manager to manage it, but you still want to keep track of how many people have joined your gym or how many people have left your gym, what's your monthly turnover rate or monthly new customers, new users, different things. So there are two ways. One way, you can uh, just go to the gym's website or call the gym owner to ask how many people joined today, right? Constantly asking, constantly asking. You can constantly ping that person that tell me how many people joined today, how many people joined today, tell me what's the total count now, tell me how many people left today. There are different things, right? And the other way is you can use webhooks. Webhooks. What webhooks will do is, as soon as somebody joins, you will get a notification. As soon as somebody leaves, you will get a notification. Let's say you have set up a webhook like this that every Friday or every Sunday, tell me how many total or how many number of users are there currently, active users are there in the gym. You will get that. You can also set it to tell you everything like if the number in this week is up from last week or down from last week. Same you can do for month also. So this is like this. So in the digital world, webhooks work similarly. They are a way for one computer program to automatically send information to another program when something happens. For example, let's say if you post a photo on Instagram, webhook can instantly tell like some other connected app to update the photo gallery. Okay. Now, if there were no webhooks, the connected app would have to keep checking Instagram constantly to check if there is a new photo. That's something which is taken care by webhook. Okay. I think now you have a clear understanding of why webhooks are essential. It saves you the trouble of constantly pinging something for information. Instead, you just subscribe to it, and as soon as it has the information, it will just tell you. Okay, tell you and notify you, not everything, whatever you have subscribed for, that it will tell you. So now that it's clear, let's start by defining the structure that we are going to discuss today. First, we will talk about the introduction of webhooks. Okay, now we will move to how webhooks work. Next, how do we implement webhooks? Okay, next we will go to use cases. Next, advantages of using webhooks. As you know, we just discussed the advantage, that constant pinging, but let's see what are the other advantages also. What are some of the best practices of using webhooks? What are the challenges that come with webhooks? Let's say some real world examples also. Next, we will talk about webhooks with APNs and FCM. APN is Apple push notification service, and FCM is Firebase cloud messaging. So I will make a separate video on both these as well. But right now I'll just cover them at a very high level, and tell you how webhooks work with them. Okay. Next, we will move to integrating webhooks with APN and FCM. Okay. And after that, we will talk about advantages of using webhooks with APNs and FCM. Okay. So now the structure is ready. Let's start with the introduction. So what are webhooks? Webhooks are user-defined HTTP callbacks. User-defined HTTP callbacks triggered by specific events. Triggered by specific events, allowing real-time communication between web applications. Allowing real-time communication between web applications. Okay. They facilitate seamless integration and data exchange between different systems and services in a timely manner. Now let's see how webhooks work. So first one is trigger events. Events occur in a source application. Okay. So first some event occurs. Next, there goes an HTTP callback. The source application sends an HTTP post request to a predefined URL. Okay. That predefined URL is also called webhook endpoint. Next is payload delivery. The payload containing event data is delivered to the destination application for processing. And in the end, real-time communication. It enables instant notification and data synchronization between applications. Okay. Next, let's move to implementing webhooks. Implementing webhooks. So first step is set up a webhook endpoint. Define a URL endpoint in the destination application to receive webhook payloads. Next, register the events for which you want the webhooks to trigger for. Register events. So configure the source application to trigger specific events and specify the corresponding webhook URLs. Next, handle payloads. Process incoming payloads in the destination application, extracting relevant data and performing actions. And next, security considerations. So implement authentication and validation mechanisms also to ensure the integrity and security of webhook requests, so that somebody else cannot impersonate and get the webhook to serve them. Okay. So we need to enable the security considerations as well. Next, let's see the use cases of webhooks. Use cases. Automated notifications. Notify users or systems about important events such as new messages, transactions, or updates, right? Data synchronization. Keep data across multiple systems in sync by triggering updates in response to changes in one system. Next is integration with third-party services. Integration with third-party services. So integrate with external services, APIs, or platforms to automate workflows and streamline processes. And real-time reporting. So generate real-time reports or analytics by processing event data as it occurs. Let me give you a very practical daily life example which you would have witnessed. Do you see when some money gets deducted from your account, then you get a message on your phone, right? You don't always get that. So what you can do is you can go to the internet banking site of your bank and you can set there the limit. Let's say first you can turn on a button that okay, if the money is deducted from the account, then message me. Yes. And you can also set like if the money deducted that is more than $100, only then message me. Otherwise, don't message me. Like you can do some kinds of setups like this. Okay. So what is this? This is basically you are setting up a webhook for yourself that if the money is deducted and it is more than $100, just notify me, right? So this is the best example that I could think of to show you daily interactions with webhooks. Okay, great. Now that we have discussed about use case, let's move to the advantages of webhooks. First one is real-time communication. Real-time communication enables instant notification and response to events, enhancing user experience and system efficiency. So if webhooks was not there, what would you do is you would periodically check the system for any updates or any notification, any event that you want, right? Like let's say you are checking every 5 minutes, and let's say you just checked now and 1 second later the event happened and you are checking 5 minutes later. So you will not get that update until 5 minutes, right? But now that webhooks is there, as soon as the event happens, you get the notification. So the real-time communication is there. Next is decoupled architecture. It promotes loose coupling between systems, allowing independent development and scalability. Next is flexibility. It supports a wide range of use cases and integrations, adaptable to diverse business needs. And next, efficiency. It reduces polling and unnecessary API calls. As I explained you in the beginning, you don't need to constantly poll it, ping it to check if there is an update. So it reduces polling and unnecessary API calls, optimizing resource utilization and improving performance. Okay. Now let's talk about some of the best practices for webhooks. First one is secure endpoints. So implement HTTPS and authentication mechanisms like HMAC signatures to secure webhook endpoints. We should make our webhook endpoint secure, right? Next is retry mechanisms. So if the message is not delivered in the first attempt, there should be a mechanism to know that yes, it has failed and we should retry. Okay. Next is payload design. Payload design. So design lightweight and well-structured payloads to minimize bandwidth usage and simplify processing. So we should not send unnecessary information. Only that thing that is necessary should be sent in the payload. Okay. And documentation. So provide clear documentation and guidelines for webhook integration, including event types, payloads, and error handling. Now let's talk about the challenges associated with webhooks. Challenges. So first challenge is reliability. So ensure reliability and fault tolerance in webhook delivery, handling errors and retries gracefully, right? So if we are giving a webhook, we should make sure that it's reliable. It means if somebody is subscribing that I should get message when money is deducted from my account, it's the job of ours to make sure that that person gets the notification even in case of network failures. Okay. Next is security risks. Mitigate security risks such as unauthorized access, data breaches, and payload tampering. We cannot tolerate security risks. If we see that like there is a compromise of data, then we should take necessary action in that case also. Next is rate limiting. So implement rate limiting and throttling mechanisms to prevent abuse and ensure fair resource allocation. Okay, like if somebody is just subscribing to tell me everything that's happening. Okay, let's say when you are going for let's say Instagram, if there is celebrity, okay, and that celebrity has, let's say, 200 million followers, and if that person posts a photo, every like will trigger a notification, right? But it's possible that multiple people like at the same time. So instead of sending one like notification at a time, what Instagram will do at that time is it will batch those likes and send them together, thus implementing rate limiting. So that's what also you should be considering. That's a challenge that need to be addressed for your webhooks. And next is monitoring and logging. Set up monitoring and logging for webhook activity to track performance, troubleshoot issues, and ensure compliance, because that's a part of any application. Like even a basic application that you make, and if it's for use, you should monitor it. Like you should know when it is failing, why it is failing, if there is a particular time of the day when it is failing, a lot of things, right? So monitoring and logging is very important. Logging is also because it helps a lot in debugging, right? Now let's talk about some of the real world examples of webhooks usage. Real world examples. First one is e-commerce. Notify customers about order status changes, payment confirmations, and shipping updates. You know that, right? When you use Amazon or some other shopping app, you constantly get notified like your package is shipped, yes, your packet is out for delivery, yes, your packet is delivered, yes, your order is placed, yes, your payment is confirmed, yes. So these all are examples of webhooks. Next is SaaS platforms. Integrate with third-party services like CRM, marketing automation, and payment gateways for seamless data exchange. Okay. Next is social media. Again, trigger actions based on social media interactions like posting updates or sending notifications, as I gave you the Instagram example. And IoT applications. Monitor and control IoT devices by responding to sensor data and events in real time. Now let's see webhooks with APNs and FCM. Webhooks with APNs and FCM. Apple push notifications and Firebase cloud messaging. Okay. So APN is a notification service provided by Apple that enables real-time delivery of notifications to iOS, macOS, and watchOS devices. So APN is for that. And FCM is formerly known as Google Cloud Messaging, GCM. It's a cross-platform messaging solution provided by Google for sending notifications to Android, iOS, and web applications. Okay. How do they work? How APN and FCMs work? So first step is token registration. Mobile devices register with APNs or FCM to receive push notifications by providing a unique device token. Next is notification routing. When a notification is triggered, the server sends it to APNs or FCM along with the device token. Next, delivery to device. APN and FCM deliver the notification to the respective devices using the platform specific protocols, and in the end display it to the users. So the device receives the notification and displays it to the user in the form of an alert badge or a banner, that notification banner that you see. Now, integrating webhooks with APNs and FCM. Integrating webhooks with APNs and FCM. First one is webhook triggers. So events in the server application such as a new message or any update, when it comes, it triggers webhook notification. Next, a notification payload is generated. So webhook payloads contain the necessary data for generating push notifications, including message content, the token of the target device, and metadata. Next is delivery. Delivery, which happens via APNs or FCM. The server sends the webhook payload to APNs or FCM, which then delivers the notification to the registered devices, and then real-time updates. So webhooks enable real-time delivery of notifications, ensuring timely communication with mobile devices. We have discussed this before as well. Okay. And let's see what are the advantages of using webhooks with APNs and FCM. Advantages of using webhooks with APNs and FCM. First one is instant notification. Webhooks facilitate immediate delivery of notifications to mobile devices, providing users with timely updates and alerts. Next is dynamic content. Webhooks allow the server to generate personalized and dynamic notification content based on users' actions or events. So you don't need to serve same content to everyone, right? Next is custom actions. Developers can implement custom actions or logic in response to webhook triggers, enhancing the user experience and application functionality. And next is efficient communication. By leveraging webhooks, developers can streamline the process of sending push notifications, thus reducing the latency and resource usage, right? So, yeah, that's all there was in this video. I know I have covered a lot of things in this video very quickly. I didn't go into much detail of anything. That's because you don't need to know all those at this level. But this one is more than enough that you need to clear your system design interviews. Now, if you are making any service or making any system and you tell them that the system will use a microservice architecture, and there you create a notification service, and if somebody asks you, tell me how this notification service works, you will be able to tell them using this. Tell them about webhooks, tell them how webhooks work, what happens if there was no webhook, tell them the role of APNs and FCM for different kinds of devices, and a lot of things that we discussed in this video. What is the procedure to implement webhooks? What is the advantage of using webhooks? What are different use case or the real life examples where webhooks are used, and how you can customize webhooks, how you can generate dynamic content using webhooks, what are the best practices that will be incorporated when using webhooks. If a follow-up question comes like, tell me what are the challenges that come with implementing webhooks, you can talk about that as well. And yeah, so there are a lot of things that you can take from this video and talk about in the interviews. Yeah, that's it. There is nothing else that I can say about this video. So yeah, tell me in the comments if you like this video or not. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.